Greetings. Welcome to Mystic Moons. Late night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're feeling the seasons and you're warm and snuggled wherever you may be. Of course, I'm speaking to people in the Northeast, coming from the Northeast. So, the need to be snuggled is very important. It's cold, single digits, snow and ice outside. And even though it isn't officially winter equinox or solstice, it is cold. Very, very cold. I guess that's part of the beauty of living in the mountains. So wherever you may be, Australia, Middle East, daytime, nighttime, let's take a moment and think about the world in chaos. The wars all over the world, all over the globe. And think about who is instigating or who is clamoring for discord, chaos. Well, in the United States, we have an administration that's very much into war. Very, very, very much into war and what it may bring. Now, the spoils of war actually rarely go to the worker class. Let's just say the worker class, the middle class, the bourgeoisie, the lower and the middle bourgeoisie, yet don't really see any out and out profits of acquisition, aka war. When you go to war, you want to get something. You want to get something, right? You want to get your hands on something that's not given to you. Or you're being oppressed. It's hard to say you take a country as powerful as the United States. And part of the United States' power is the fact that we all speak the same language. We have 50 so odd states. Just put that odd and take it as you may. 50 states who speak the same language. If you go high, you're either greeting or you're staying your state of mind. You're high on something. That's universal in the United States. And of course, many of us speak second languages. Great. Chinese, Indian, Hindi, whatever. But the point is, the United States is a cohesive, unified states. Now, each one of these states could be a country state, a nation state elsewhere. But yet, the United States chooses to be together. And you wonder, how long will this togetherness last? Now, when you have war is actually the art form of taking young people to start and constricting them into the military service to fight and kill and murder and sacrifice their lives. And then they come back, if they come back maimed but still alive, they're known as heroes. Now, a lot of these heroes, I know mothers who are still grandmothers or their mothers who are still angry of their sons being killed in previous U.S. conflicts. And a lot of people come back, a lot of men come back, a lot of women come back with post-traumatic stress disorder. The act of seeing such violence never leaves them. So, it's almost like you can say like it's a lose for quite a majority of the participants. And that is not being addressed. And you have trillionaires who are clamoring for more, más, more. So we have to ask the cosmos, all over the heavens, the energy of us, humanity. And there are wars elsewhere too. It's not just the United States having warfare. There's European nation states wanting to go full blasters to the collectivist nation of Russia. Now, that spells like, okay, so Russia's pretty busy with Ukraine. And if Russia really wanted to decimate Ukraine, it could have done that a couple years ago already, and before. However, they are piece by piece trying to protect the land and the people as much as possible. I'm not siding with Russia. I don't think I'm not like saying yay. However, I don't like spirits. Don't like. I'll put it that way. The essence, the nature that we have seen of Ukrainian President Zelensky doesn't exactly think like, oh wow, such a martyr for its cause. He loves his people. He does this. He does that. And there's many holes in his platform that, without being a psychic, you can see. But we're not talking about Ukraine today. We're talking about Venezuela. We're talking about Colombia. We're talking about Mexico. We're talking about Latin America. Now, it's sort of ironic that you have an American president that seems to be going very aggressive on Latinos. Doesn't it seem that way? It seems that way. Latino countries. Now, are the American people, are they prepared to follow a war hawk leadership? Do they want to have war with South America, Latin America, Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico? Now, Venezuela, we've been at odds. The United States has been at odds for quite some time, 10 years perhaps, 10 years. We've had sanctions, waves of sanctions in the 2017 to 18. We've had sanctions before that. All in all, has resulted in the death of about 200,000 people, notwithstanding what's happening now. So, I mean, they didn't like Chavez, the previous ruler of Venezuela, and they certainly don't like Maduro. Now, Maduro, if part of his popularity comes from the fact that he is indigenous to the area, his roots, he's a bit of everything. Hello. He's a bit of everything. He is a bit of Africa, indigenous Indians, indigenous people of Colombia. He's also a bit of European. He's a bit of everything, and he calls himself, he's with his people. He's with his people, all of his people. So, are you ready to go to war? So backtrack a moment. Again, do you think Americans are ready to fight for Venezuelan oil and Venezuelan soil, Mexicans oil and silver, these deposits that it seems to be an act of piracy or an act of, I can do it because I can do it. What is this? How are we going to get the masses, if the masses of the American people are going to agree to have war following Trump's administration? Not war. Now you see in the background, we have this fighting going on, right? Fighting. Because this is what war is all about. Shoot to kill, shoot to kill. Even when you're in an airplane and some lonely, naked, hobbling person is up on a piece of wreckage of a craft going, help me, help me, help me. You take your machine gun. This is the policy that the United States is following right now. Boom, 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 boom. So look and see the images. That's the kind of war. We're not talking about the he and the hacking. No, we're not talking about the so-called tech war. We're talking about blow your brains out type of war. Do you think the American people are ready to, all fired up, to follow the Trump's administration, which he is bragging right now that they got the largest haul after they seized the Venezuelan oil tanker ever in history, and they're going to just, use that money. Thank you very much for the like. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. And so let's ask the energies, the consciousness of killing, of living, of being, of the American people. Do the American people have the stomach It's not even the stomach. Do they have the urge to go and kill for the president and his administration? Do they want to be killed because of some kind of piracy? When you see something without, it's because I'm entitled to it. Is this an action that we should hail as righteous cause? And we do know that Madero has said, I'm going to break America's teeth. Now, let's think of a moment, just for one moment. One thing, okay, so we're after Venezuela. The United States is after, Trump administration is after Venezuela's oil. Now, what two things don't mix? What two things don't mix? Tell me. You know what doesn't mix? Oil and water. Oil and water. All right? So, when he says we're going to break America's teeth, what do you mean? What do you think he means by that? What do you think that he is South America? Now, we know that Russia's tied up with Ukraine. They've admitted this. And maybe the Russian people don't want to fight another, but they already are bracing for NATO. So it's chaos everywhere. And then there's other conflicts elsewhere between other countries that are just as valid or just as needing attention. So it can't be all one-sided. Is that what the United States is going for? Now let's find out. Are the American people, question is, are the American people gung-ho for a war, Trump's war against Latin America? Let's see. The first thing we have is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. Again, we have this water element. Perhaps something will be happening again with the water element. Perhaps something is going to happen. It can't be a new idea because a war with Venezuela is not a new idea because we've been putting sanction after sanction after sanction. And what does sanctions do? They result in, it's a slow death. It's not like by the machine gun. No. But it does kill. If you can't eat, you can't do this, you can't do that, you don't have medicine, you do end up with death. So, but then again, this Ace of Cups. Let's explore more. We have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords. It's almost as though something's going to be happening with something involving the water element. And we are going to be so tied, and it's going to have such a crippling effect that maybe going to war maybe an enthusiastic push. But whatever it may be, the war, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Mothers, have you raised your sons, your daughters to be shot, to be part of a campaign to grab countries, Colombia, to grab Venezuela, Mexico? Do you want the responsibility of supporting them, of destroying their nation, of... They're not going to just come and just say, oh, we don't want to hurt this building. We don't want to hurt these people. No, they're coming as marauders. They're coming as terrorists. But under the flag of war. War is not pleasant for either the warriors or the people who support or provide services for the warriors. And services is also providing the warrior themselves. So it's a lot of pain and conflict for the this peaceful era. You would think with all the technology that we have and we've developed and enacted, and also the drones, everything, that we would have a different type of attitude. Instead of, we're still barbaric at the core. This barbarism is not being unnoticed. It's not going to be. Yes, the dove is downward on this cup. So it's almost as though it's not the cup of the element of water that you or I or others would like to drink. Something about this Ace of Cups, and then followed by this Eight of Swords. Something about it. It's weird. I had the weirdest feeling that something is going to be happening with the water. And again, look at what we have here. We have a very, very selfish, very, very singular dominance in the terms of the push for war. Now, I do not see a unity of all the Americans following madness. War is a state of chaos and madness. I can't get things done any other way, so I have to exterminate you. I will end you. Now that you could be also you and me and others. Because when one person goes crazy, you can see it in the city streets, in the city towns, in the countryside. Many innocent people that say, I don't want to be bothered with this, get affected. They get affected, right? They get affected. So, what do we say? Now, we have this egocentric type of solo thinking. And we also have the push. I want the oil. I want the silver. I want the minerals. I want the lithium. I want. Regardless of sharing, buying, purchasing, I'm going to get it. You people don't know how to take care of anything, but I do. It game smack of colonialization, doesn't it? Don't you smell that in the air? Now, I don't have to say any names. It just seems that it's very colonialized. We are and you are. And you won't listen to reason, so I'm going to crack my whip and load up my shotgun. Because you can't understand my needs. This is what it's all about. My. And you won't give it up. Next card I pull. Listen to this again. The Ace of Swords. Oh, see? Ace of Swords. This is a lot of talk. I mean, even today, you don't feel that there's that much talk about the actions, lawful illegalities, or reasoning, and all this phony baloney things of drugs, as I said, as the cosmos, the universal energies are blasting out. What is wrong with the United States that it needs narcotics? What is wrong with any country that the people need to be anesthetized? Failure of many, many different types. And here, again, the Ace of Swords, communication. So we have two aces, right? And we can have something, the mouthpiece of the establishment going, bad Venezuelans. And that's been going on for there's only one type of Venezuelan. At the same time, there was only one good Iraqi. At the same time, there's only a one-sided oneness. Not that there's people just minding their own business and just trying to just get by. Fishermen are going out to go, I need to get some tuna, right? They can't even go out in a boat without risking their lives to eat some tuna, right? Or whatever they eat, whatever fish they eat. But we have a whole lot of, we have ego, suffering, and we have a whole lot of broadcasting, a whole lot of posturing. And then we have the Page of Cups. Surrender, get rid of Medora. Get rid of Medora. Now, this is saying if you do what I say, I will let you drink my magic potion of what? Slavery? Now, the people of Venezuela know that they're in for something, as well as the people of the United States know that they're in for something. And it's not jingle bells. It's not the horn of plenty. And we have two aces, swords and cups. We have the swords. And we also have this Four of Pentacles. Four of Coins. Gimme. Well, this is not good. Maduro is going to be aided by Russia. All the people that can't stand what's going on are going to rush to South America. South America is just as plentiful and favorable as Africa. Now, the reason these two continents are they still have their autonomy. They still have a lot of their grounds, the resources are still intact. And they don't come with so much clauses, fees, contracts of the sort that is in other, like United States, for instance. You can't even fish in a pond without having a license that has to be renewed and double-checked. So how far are these other countries treating its citizens as though they were not worthy of eating? No. And how many countries have been persecuting the United States people for simple acts of consuming food? So we have a lot of issues here. Can we officially say that Americans, are you going to follow the ways? What are you going to get? What is in it for America to get to have war with Latin America? What do you think that the United States people have to gain? Tell me. Your comments are welcomed. Excuse me. It doesn't feel as though the American people are sold on this type of the idea of war with Latin America, which means that something has to happen to get the worker class, specifically the proletariat, the middle class, the lower bourgeoisie people, to get them all excited and chaotic enough. That's the element that smells now. That's the element that they're searching for. It is the Page of Cups. What is this Page of Cups? This could be not particularly nourishing. No. What are you going to get? What, are you going to get like a $2,000 check because we have so much oil that we appropriated? Is that it? Is that the way? Is that it? Now, we will take the profits and sell and share it with you. Well, I really appreciate all the feedback that I've been getting. And if you feel we are in war, you cannot deny it. You don't need to have on some sort of rag daily newspaper, online service to say, the United States is at war. We are at war. We've been at war with indirectly proxy wars, but now we feel so arrogantly that we don't need a proxy war with Latin America, or we don't want a proxy war with Latin America. Maybe because it's no accident that our jobs have been static as they are, static and non-existent. Maybe it's all a plan. It's all a plan to get the people. And this is what more jobs will come if we take care of Latin America. That sounds bogus. That sounds faux. That sounds not possible. Do you want to take care of Latin American people? Do you want to take care of Mexican people in their own country? Is that where the jobs are going to be coming? Or, of course, if we have a robot army, which we will definitely be having a robot humanoid type of army to demand the streets of the cities, because we are going to be having humans as in the military. There's already 100,000 people already, soldiers already ready to spring on in the Caribbean, who are ready to spring on Venezuela. And of course, he says Colombia's next. The main thing is, are we? This page of cups. Pirates of the Caribbean, exactly. Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates, wow, yeah. Listen, pirate? Is this some kind of deja vu or some kind of precognitive something or other? I mean, yeah, it is. It is. But do you want to see your friends, your neighbors being hauled away for war? Do you want to see your communities drained of men and women to go fight in Trump's wars? It's just, I tell me, if you can, tell me in so many words, what are we, United States people, going to get out of this? Oh, we're the greatest, we're exceptional, we're going to get more hot air, helium talk? I don't see what there is in it for, unless you're a corporation and you wanted to get things. You were getting a gold mine, you were getting a silver mine, you were getting first dibbies on their oil fields. What? What is going to be the incentive? It's going to have to take an action. This page of cups is something that this page of cups is let's just look at this for a second. This is suspicious. Because we can already tell that this is a one, like a top to the bottom. Like, you got to go to war. You got to. Right. Now more, what to spring off these emotional pulls? This emotion, it's something that oil and water don't mix. What is this thing that it's going to happen? Something's going to happen to get the fiery irie. Something's going to happen. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords. So you can see that this 5 of Swords is a bad sign. 5 of Swords. Something's going to happen that's going to make they're going to do something to make the American people jump to the gun. Jump to the gun. It's almost it's going to be a situation that something's going to happen that we're not going to have any choice. We're not going to have any choice. Or they think that we're not going to have any choice because they're going to ramp it all up. 5 of Swords. Let's just take one more look at this cups. One more feeling of this cups. Feeling of this cups. Something that's going to benefit something that's going to give the rah-rah and the zing. We've already been peeling away and hammering away at the Venezuelan people for at least 10 years, 8 years. That's why the Trump administration can act in these people, the Department Secretary of War. As soon as he changed the name from the Secretary of Defense to the Secretary of War. Now, why is it these old people, I mean old people, have this attitude that the United States must follow these old precepts instead of unity on the planet? I mean, we're just going round and round in circles, repeating, and we're not going anywhere except an early grave. Now, we all know that all these countries have outsourced, outdid, outlived their founding fathers' philosophy, right? Their philosophy was beware of might makes right. Then we have here the Seven of Wands. It's the next card we pull. This is a very, very, look at this, for the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, right? We have the Five of Swords and we have the Seven of Wands. Definitely, a move is underway. A move is underway that's going to be able to unite the people. Seven of Wands, Five of Swords, which will give the mouthpiece the Ace of Cups, the ammunition they need to follow the oneness of the 0.001% who have everything. Trillionaires, trillionaires and billionaires of the wanting and controlling of the entirety of a huge amount of people. Somehow that doesn't seem fair, does it? It doesn't seem that it's lucrative. It doesn't seem communication. Yes. Just look at this. Air signs. Ooh, Five of Wands, fire. And I guess it's like more and more battle. It's like you do what I say, or I'm going to continue hurting you. I'm going to give you a world of hurt. That's all this whole reading is about, is a world of hurt. Now, when you can even like take in Second World War. I mean, there's war everywhere. And where do these leaders who advocate more and more war, do they end up happily ever after in the Garden of Eden or some kind of utopic type of situation? No. They end up paranoid. He who liveth by the sword dieth by the sword. That is a famous, famous quote. You instigate violence, you die by violence. You advocate violence, you get it back. All this war. And how can what is your future? What is your future in the atmosphere of war? What is your future? Tell me. Do you think that we can like really depend upon our authoritative figures to tell us what is really happening? Even take it back the fact that the incident in the Caribbean of those two fishermen who weren't blown to smithereens the first time the United States bombed the speedboat. Like that speedboat was really going to go all the way to, up and down the east coast of the United States. Did it even have enough gasoline do you know how expensive that is? Did it even have enough gasoline to even get to Trinidad, for instance? Did it even have enough? And do you have to say, how do they know this real psychics are running this government? I think the real psychic energy is, how do you know that this is what was a drug boat? Do you really, 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 are you that good? Are they remote viewing? So that's what we're trying to say. How many Americans are going to follow this fable, this goddess of war, these gods of war? What's in it for you? What's in it for you? You're not going to get clarity. You're not going to get firsthand information because this incident that happened in the Caribbean was in September. And what is it now? 2 months later. 2 months later. It happened around September the 3rd. And just now, and they still haven't released the full video. It's probably on the dark web. But on the regular internet, you can't find it totally yet. But don't think somebody isn't in the Hungarian mountains or Bulgarian mountains countryside isn't like poking around in the ever hackable internet of things, right? Everything is hackable. They just probably haven't gotten the right price for it yet. Or they're probably working on it. So, this is something are the Americans going to be ready? Are the Americans going to fall for it? Not willingly. Right now, we're outraged. Trump's approval is about 30%. It's actually probably about 15% of the American people. Rah, 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 Trump. I mean, he still has his online news services that, unabashedly agree. But the fact of the matter is, remember, a year ago, 1 year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, the president of Honduras was jailed for 45 years plus $8 million fine for narcotics, for drugs. What does Trump do like a year and a half later? Oh, it's okay. Oh, he probably, gave, I think Hernandez gave them $8 million fine, so he paid off. It doesn't sound corrupt. And what does the United States take? Does it keep seize the drug boats? No. They seize the oil. They seize the oil. Now, don't tell me that the drugs, I don't know, I mean, I'm not a pharmacist, but the drugs that they're selling could be incorporated into regular pharmaceutical medicine for people. I'm sure it can. I mean, I'm not positive, but I would have to do some research and find out. But yet they bomb that up, but they couldn't bomb up the oil because they have more specific reasoning for what they're doing. And they know that the drugs aren't really coming from Venezuela. Oh, it's all the same to the American mindset. Mexico, it's the same type of people. They speak Spanish. Okay. Well, that's very racist to say that, I know. But that is the prevailing colonialistic attitude that's being induced on us. The United States people. Now, we'll have to see if the United States people are going to fall for all this. But right now, low opinion, we're outraged, and we're not liking it. So something is going to bust. Something is going to happen. And that is where the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. And it's not going to be good. We're just going to have to stick through this together, folks. People, consciousness people, good people, light people who believe in us, the American people, the people of South America, the people of Asia, the people of Europe, the peaceful people who don't want to see insanity prevail, who don't want wars. But we know that it's being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. We have to push back. Peace. How can we have peace when we have all this painful reactions? People that have had their lives lost, are they going to just go, well, okay, but turn the other cheek? Or just go, or just be so crippled by pain? Vengeance. which is what these Five of Swords and Seven of Wands is all about. Vengeance. Inflict enough pain, which we get the Four of Pentacles. Inflict enough pain and you will have a reason. You will have a reason to join the cause for this. This is this. But, however, there's a way out of this. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? It's very simple. It's very simple. To analyze the situation, see what's ahead. Calm. First of all, be calm. And don't accept. Don't accept insanity and chaos. Especially if it's not even going to benefit you. Well, I would like to thank you for listening. I would like to thank you for joining our reading. Be careful of what you drink. Be careful of the something. Something is going to be in an element of a liquid. Something. I don't know what yet. But I just get the sense that, well, we know it isn't over. It's just another phase of the war. We haven't been attacked. We've been attacked in like the different things like the Baltimore Bridge, or we've been attacked with our LA fires. I mean, all these things are going on, but we've not phrased it. Maybe that's where the revelation comes into being. It's like, look what they did. Who did it? What group? And what is their affiliation? And what do they want? They want, first of all, they want the American people to bend the knee. The American people. Now, who is wanting the American people to bend the knee? This is the Four of Pentacles is all about. And even having the excuses. Yes, the weird drones. The weird drones that we haven't had from the Trump. Remember, everyone, we haven't had an explanation of who and what those drones that we saw a year ago everywhere, and we still see in all these sightings. We have more sightings recently that they're not even printing them anymore. What are the strange things in the sky that defy our known physics? What is this and what is that? We have so many unanswered questions. So many unanswered questions. So going to war, who is provoking this war? Who has a gun on some politician's head is saying, you must say this? And why? Why is this terminal endness, this terminal apocalypse, this terminal blah? I mean, not even blah. Bang, 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 bang. This tension being exerted. Why? Who wants to get rid of more of us humans? We can go through this all together. And Mystic Moons, again, is very appreciative of joining with the cosmos, the energies, the universal enemies of looking for the right answers, the right feeling, the right preparation from you, from the heavens, from the source. We all are part of the source. We all are. Right now, without that incident happening, something's going to happen. And it's going to involve a liquid, something, drinking the cups. I don't really feel that's an emotional thing. It feels like something tangible, a tangible element, something with water, something. In all these countries, they do have weather modification, true. but it's something even more tactile, I mean human impulse. The days of people just sitting around and going, oh hum, I give up. It's not going to happen in this case. It's not going to happen. The country is set on having violence. So we won't probe more deeply into things that are actually happening. Are they happening around your place? Do you see the decay? Do you see the emptiness in your cities, your towns? Do you see how despondent many people are? Or how they just don't know what to make of this situation. How are you supposed to live? Or aren't you supposed to live? If you have leaders that are inducing this type of activity, how are you supposed to live? You can see this is not life. This is not giving. If you would like to subscribe, please subscribe. We're going to be investigating this war and peace again and again because we are in the war and the war phase of humanity. War and greed. It's almost like the Midas touch, right? It's like the deal with the devil, the Faustinian effort to break, and to corrupt. For what gain? The gain of having the power. Or trying to get the people to give up. Give up and surrender. It's putting the knee on the chin, gagging the throat. The knee on the chin. So right now we can say that the focus, we're feeling burden. Excuse me. We're feeling burden. We're feeling the struggle. But some incident is going to break that tide. And we'll see how many people just come like, oh yeah. We can be programmed to think that war is the answer. War is not the answer. What is the answer? We'll come up with that. But right now, the American people are very much disillusioned. Very much, this is not what I jumped off for. My streets, my town, my highways, my roads, my prices, my this, my that, my this. I'm living shabby. That's what the American people are really at right now. We're living shabby and stealing somebody else's oil or resources, killing them for it. The way of Gaza is not the way of the United States. The way of Ukraine is not the way of the United States. Any other war zone that I forgot that we are actively, of course, there's much more, the way of destruction, disassociation, cannibalizing, animalizing. And how we're all being devalued. We're all being devalued. The killer, these people, these images of warfare, of people pulling guns, that's not elevating humanity. It's degrading humanity. Isn't it? Well, I'm going to leave you with these thoughts. Until the next time, think about it. Are the American people dragging their feet or totally not into following the war hawks who want to colonialize Latin America, who wish to take the pirates of the Caribbean, someone said. Thank you very much. Thank you for the likes. If you wish to support the channel, please do. Mystic Moons needs all the aja of the support. We appreciate it. And we're going to continue psychically trying to figure out our collective energies and where we are going with all this. Because there's no turning back now. Now it's on our table. We can't go, oh, it didn't happen. It's happening now. You have to look at the front page news, even if they don't even write about it. They write about some idiocy, about some celebrity doing this and doing that. No offense to anybody who's in that position, but we're really, it's you and I, it's everyone that's connected with where's the next thing gonna drop? When's the next thing gonna drop? And when it drops, it's also gonna drop on your lap and my lap. It's not just people who are making the news or people that are already known. It's the unknown. Isn't there a monument called the Unknown Soldier? Unknown people who have family members, friends, beings that are being burnt off, burnt out. Humans are not commodities. We are not for sale. I have to remember that when they put that incident that's supposed to make us squirm and like be mad because that's the only chaotic motion, that the arrow that's being pointed at us, we can point it at somebody else. Hello. How are you? What do you think? What do you think, Edwin? Do you think that you're ready to fight, to gain Latin America, to see countries, Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, bend the knee? To whom? For what? To lose what they have, to have their homes destroyed, to have the United States people going around saying, that's what we did? Or do you think the United States people will be safe when all this is happening? They're not with these leaderships aren't going to run away and turn tail. I mean, they may go and like take a time spent to prepare, but they've already been preparing because they've already been sanctioned for 10 years already. This is nothing new. Just the only thing is missing is saying war with South America, Latin America. Bad times, people. Bad times. It's very hard to love. It's very hard to work. It's very hard. You must concentrate and be calm because we're in a critical period, not end times. Forget those kind of things, end times. We're in bad times. Bad times. However, if we refuse to accept what is being offered to us, that's where the power is. That's where the power is. And that's where our guiding light of the heavens, because we all are part of energy in that direction of the total. We don't have to act like this. Resist. All right, so we've already seen the climate of where we're going, where we are in right now. Not where we're going. We're into war. United States into war. We're already war with South Venezuela. Colombia, we're saying, hey, get it ready, get your guns ready. Mexico, we're already saying, okay. And being in Mexico for the past year or so has been kicking out Americans because they've been upping the price of housing, food, and everything else. And they were saying, go home, go away. So it's already been happening. War is, and the tariffs are war. Trade wars, then the physical war. That's the way it goes. So bunker up, Get ready, be calm, and think about where you're going to be, what you're going to do, and don't be swayed about certain things. Don't try not to be manipulated. Try to think about the essence of your life and what certain things can do to it. Be rational. Well, I'm going to go now. Thank you very much for being here with me. Bye bye. Bye bye.